Good morning, students. Can you tell me if the voice and video is clear? Please check and let me know if the voice and video are clear. Tell me quickly. It is clear. I had to come to the center for some work. So students, that's why I have to take class from the center today. Is it clear? We started last class single entry. And we had completed the basic discussion in a single entry. Okay, guys? What is single entry? We have completed all the discussions regarding what we have to learn in this chapter. And we had also created a query where we created final accounts from incomplete records. Understood, students? Now today's class and the next 1 or 2 classes, we will only devote ourselves to practice. And we will just practice thoroughly what we learned in the first class, so that we can get a grip on this chapter. First of all, I gave you homework. The INIA page is open. So first I will discuss the homework. This homework was from the final accounts chapter. It was a question from the June 2023 exam. Question number 6B. If you have tried, then you might have done it. This was a very easy question. The only negative thing I found in this exam is that the marks allocated for this particular question are surprisingly very low. Subject to the requirements of the question. Got it or not, students? I believe this question should have been worth at least 5 to 7 marks, but they only gave 3 marks. They just increased the number of questions. They gave more questions. So they reduced the marks. In fact, this question has also been asked in previous exams for 5 to 7 marks. They are asking us to pass journal entries and prepare relevant accounts including final accounts. They want everything, okay? They want everything, but they just don't want to give marks. Understood? The trial balance as of March 31, 2023 debtors are 4,10,000. Provision 20,000, the old provision carried forward. Bad debt 6,000, which has been recorded. Additional bad debt of 10,000 is being said. Provision you have to make is 10% on sundry debtors. Okay? First, I will do the working. So, question 6B. June 23 exams. First, I will do the working. In the working, first I will calculate the closing PBDD. My bad debtors are 4,10,000 and minus 10,000 for further bad debts, which is given in the adjustment below. 4 lakhs into 10%. My closing provision will be 40,000. My closing provision is 40,000. Now I have to calculate PBDD to be charged to profit and loss. So how much PBDD is to be charged to PL? PBDD to be charged to PL. Closing provision minus opening provision 20,000 minus bad debts. The total bad debts adding 6 and 10 equals 16,000. So I will have to charge provision of rupees 36,000 in profit and loss. I'll have to charge provision of rupees 36,000 in profit and loss, 40 minus 4. I have been asked to do journals. So if I have been asked to do journals, then this will be the first entry I make. I will record the bad debts which have not been recorded on 31st March. Bad debts account debit to debtors. This is additional bad debt of rupees 10,000 which have not been recorded. Then I will adjust the bad debts from PBDD. PBDD account debit to bad debts. Got it? So I will adjust this total bad debts of rupees 16,000. Now 16 out of 20 is spent, 4,000 is left with me. I have to create a new provision of rupees 36,000 from PL to PBDD. We need to create a new provision of 36,000 from PL to PBDD. This will be all my entire journal entries. I hope we have understood everything. According to me, the 3-mark question should have ended right here. That was all they should have asked. They said to make the ledger and final accounts. So as a result, a lot of work has been asked from us. I will only make one ledger account, okay? PBDD account. It's a 3-mark question. I'll create only one PBDD account. By balance bad debts, opening balance 20,000. 2 bad debts. This year we charged bad debts worth 16,000. to balance CD. Closing balance is rupees 40,000. So students, the difference will come by PL, 36,000. By profit and loss, 36,000. 36,000 will directly come in the debit side of PL. And when you make the balance sheet, the debtors will look something like this in the balance sheet. Debtors is 4,10,000. Minus bad debts, further bad debts which happened is 10,000. Understood? This is the remaining 4 lakhs. Minus the closing provision. Got it or not, students? 40,000. 3,60,000 remain. This will be left 3,60,000. So I hope no student will have any difficulty whatsoever in executing this question. Okay? I would say that giving this question in the exam and also giving this question for 3 marks is kind of an injustice to students. This question should have been worth at least 5 to 7 marks, and also considering its complexity. Otherwise, the requirement should be that you just pass the journal entry. We did the working, and after doing the working, we passed the journal entry. That's it, the matter ends there. So guys, could you solve this question? Can we move on? Okay, let's go. Let me first give you today's homework. Past exam and final account completed from MTP past exam, understood? Take one question for homework from MTP related to final account. You have to do this. I did the same question in class also, okay? This is exactly the same. Exactly the same. I did the same question in class also. I am not giving back the same one, okay? You can do it if you want. June 24, set 1, question 4. It has already been done in the class. So I am not giving it in the homework. No questions remain. All the questions on final accounts are completed. So that question was exactly like the one I did in class, word by word, point by point. This is similar to that. You can do it if you want, okay? June 24. Set 1 of MTP. Question 4. You can do it if you truly want. The same question has been solved in the class word by word. Okay, students? If you want to do it, then do it. If you don't do it, then it's okay for me. With this, all the questions of final accounts were completed. Now, students, let us get right back on track. Question 2 was done. Let us move on to question number 3 now. We'll read question number 3. Let's start. Ram Prakash, a small trader, does not keep his books. Following double entry system. Ram Prakash is a small trader. He does not maintain his books according to the double entry system. Okay? The following information provided by him. Prepare. Trading and P&L account for the year ended 31st March 2022 and balance sheet as at that date. So we have to prepare the trading, profit and loss account and also the balance sheet. First of all, you are given the opening balances and closing balances of some ledger accounts. Through this process, we check which ledger accounts we will have to create. Like first of all, I will have to create the account of the debtor. In expenses, there are prepaid and unpaid. Prepaid means prepaid and unpaid means outstanding, it's given. So I will create an expense account this time. We have to create the creditors account. We have to create the cash account. I'll create 4 ledger accounts. Creditors, debtors, expenses and cash. Even if you don't want to create an expense account, you can adjust it by making prepaid outstanding addless. Since both prepaid and outstanding are there, we'll create an expenses ledger once so that everything comes to one place. We did not miss anything. And I have to prepare an opening balance sheet in order to calculate the opening capital. Okay? There are workings, opening balance sheet, cash, debtors, creditors, expenses account. Then below it is said other information considering amount of cash sales. There's been a cash sale about which they probably haven't given information. Credit purchases during the year, 2,30,000. PBDD has to be made 10% on debtors. This time PBDD also has to be made. Okay. This is the complete question given to me. So students, the answer to question 3. Let's see the answer to question 3. So please pay close attention. What did we learn yesterday? We have to make it on 2 simultaneous pages. On the left side, you'll prepare the trading PL. On the right side, you'll prepare 5 workings. Please start writing with me. Ram Prakash. So trading and PL account will come on the left hand side. For the year ended 31st March 2022. Here I will prepare the balance sheet as on 31st March 2022. So this is the main requirement of my question. This is the requirement. Once this is complete, I will start the working notes. Opening balance sheet. 31st March 2022, last year's closing. Then students, I have to make the cash account. All cash transactions will come here. Cash account is an important account. This links all the accounts. Understood? Then students, I have to make the debtors and creditors. Debtors account and creditors account. And in the last, we will make expense account. Expenses account is optional. Okay? Even if you don't want to make it, it's okay. Make it now. By making it, you'll see a clear benefit. Then you will understand things very easily. You will understand things very quickly. You have to make these 5 key workings: the expense account, the debtors account, the creditors account, the cash account, and the balance sheet. You don't need to write formats inside the working. Just write in the debit, credit, and ledgers. But in the main part of the question, always write the format. Particulars amount, liabilities amount, assets amount. There should always be format in the main part of the answer. It works even if the working doesn't. If it is ready, then tell me, yes, sir, we are ready. Once you have written it, let me know that you are ready so that I can start the solution. Okay? Guys, if you are ready, then we can get started. Let's get started. First of all, you are given the opening balance of furniture of rupees 1 lakh. I'll leave the closing for now because depreciation etc. will be involved. But I can write the opening balance of furniture in the opening balance sheet. Furniture costs 1 lakh. This is last year's WDV after subtracting last year's depreciation etc. 1 lakh. I have stopped the closing for a moment, okay? I will look at it later. The stock given is the opening stock and closing stock. The stock will come first in the trading account. 2 opening stock, 60,000. Buy, closing stock, 20,000. Opening is 60, closing is 20. This stock will go into the balance sheet. Closing stock will be in closing. And opening stock will be in opening. So there is closing stock in closing and opening stock in the opening. Don't worry and stay relaxed. Without any haste, we have created the debtors account. Debtors account to balance BD 120. By balance CD 140. This is the debtors balance 120 and 140. Debtor will be in balance sheet. Opening one will be in opening. Closing one will be in closing. We will just write the closing one in the inner column because provision and all are going to come in future. I am writing 140 in the inner column because of the provision that will come. Next, prepaid expense. There is nothing in opening. 4,000 is in closing. Dash is given, which means 0. Tell me, how are we going to write the prepaid expenses in the expense account? Students, prepaid means an asset. Therefore, the balance of an asset is debit. So to balance BD, in the opening it is nil. I'm only writing this to explain you. By balance CD, the closing is 4,000. Prepaid is an asset and asset has a debit balance. So to balance BD and by balance CD, this prepaid expense will go into my balance sheet. The prepaid expense which is of the closing one, of the closing, prepaid expense, 4,000. This closing will go into the balance sheet as an asset. Very good, Shivam. Now, sundry creditors 40,000. There is a question mark given in closing. You have to calculate it. 40,000 creditor by balance BD. This creditor will be recorded as a liability in my balance sheet. Creditors 40,000. Students, I am going very slowly without any hurry. Next, unpaid expense, outstanding expense, and in expense account. So guys, outstanding is a liability by balance BD. Liability. Opening 12,000 to balance CD. After 12,000, 20,000 in closing. Outstanding expense by balance BD to balance CD. Now this outstanding will go in balance sheet. Outstanding expense is 12,000. Outstanding expense will be 20,000 here. 12,000 in the opening and 20,000 in the closing. Then the balance of cash is given 22,000 and 6,000. In cash to balance BD. 22,000 by balance CD. 6,000. This is the balance of cash. Cash is my asset, and since it's an asset, it will come in balance sheet. Cash in the opening is 22,000. Cash in the closing is 6,000. You can take a minute to check this much because this is important. Don't hurry in this. Up to this point, if any student has any doubt, then they can ask. Someone is asking, how do we make the expense account? I taught how to create an expense account in the final accounts chapter. We have shown prepaid debit balance and outstanding credit balance, both of them in expense account. Is everything clear? Is it clear? Ishika, are you with us? Now we will move on to next point. Receipt from debtor. Debtor gave money, so journal entry. Cash to debtor. Cash to debtor. How much? 4,20,000 in debtor. By cash 4,20,000. Next, paid to creditor. Payment was made to the creditor. So in cash by creditor. 2 lakh in the creditor to cash. 2 lakh to cash, 2 lakh Next, we have transportation expenses. So in cash by transportation, 40,000. The transportation expense will go in PL because it's an expense. Transportation of what? For bringing goods or for sending goods. This is not mentioned. We are just showing this in the PL. We consider it as indirect expense. The transportation cost for sending the goods. The expense of the goods that we send to our customers. Then drawings. 1,20,000. Drawings. Cash by drawings. 1,20,000. These drawings will be less than the capital. In balance sheet, opening capital. We actually don't know that yet. Minus drawings. Drawings are of 1,20,000. Drawings are of 1,20,000. Next, sundry expenses are given as 140. Now the expense is given in cash by expenses. 1,40,000 in expenses to cash. 1,40,000. You have made an expense account. We will write 1,40,000. These expenses will go in PL after addition and subtraction. But I'm not showing it in PL for now. We have shown it in the expense and cash account for now. Next, furniture purchase 20,000 in cash by furniture. 20,000. Let's look at the furniture's balances once. I am saying furniture's balances. Furniture was 1 lakh in the opening. So guys, how much was it? It was 1 lakh. Okay. 20,000 was purchased this year. Therefore, total is 120. And the closing balance is also 120. There is no knowledge of the debris below. Nothing is given here. Hence, I am finalizing the furniture directly at 120. I am finalizing the furniture at 1,20,000. This was 1 lakh, then 20,000 was purchased. Therefore, total furniture of 1,20,000. 1,20,000 for furniture. There will be no debris. If there was any debris, so it would be in percentage or closing balance would be less. Therefore, we say difference is debris. There is no debris here.
সব সময় এখানেই লাগিয়ে যাবে বারবার বল নবনীত স্যার যাই বলুক এখানেই লাগবে ওনাকে বলে দেবেন অবিনাশ স্যার বলেছে ওরা তো আসে না আমাদেরই খুলতে হয় ওকে বলবে এখানেই রাখবে
Next. Furthermore, it says that there were considerable amount of cash sales. A considerable amount, large amount of cash sales has happened. I don't know it yet. Hence, I will look into it. Credit purchase during the year amounted 2,30,000. Credit purchase in creditors by purchases. 2,30,000. In creditors by purchases 2,30,000. And tell me, where will these purchases go? Students, these purchases will go into trading account. 2 purchases. Now we know the credit. The credit is 2,30,000. Credit purchases 2,30,000. Done. Next, we have to make a provision for debtors of 10%. My debtor is 140 and now I am making a closing provision of 10% for it. 14,000. This is going to be 126. From where does the provision is made? From the PL. So show it in PL as 2 provision for bad debt. 14,000. 2 provision for bad debt. 14,000. To provision for bad debt, 14,000. 10% of 140. So students, now my provision is completed and credit purchase is also completed. Now only the cash sales part remains. I have completed all other points after reading question. All of my points are correct. Let's go. We are going to close ledgers one by one. First, close expenses account. First, close secondary accounts. If there is any difference in expenses account, it will go to the PL. The difference that is in the expenses account, it will go into the PL. 144. Guys, any difference which is in the expenses account will go to the PL. 144. I will show it in PLS to expense. You can calculate it yourself and you'll still get the same amount. This is how you have to do presentation. Note. 144. Expenses 144. Expenses are complete. Now go to the debtors account. There is opening. There is collection and closing. Opening, collection and closing are given in this, but sales are not given. To sales. Balancing figure. Calculate this. Calculate the sales. How much are the sales coming? So the sales are coming as 4,40,000. This is 4,40,000. 440. This sale will go to the trading account. This is credit sales. I don't know about the cash sales yet. 440. Very good. Shivam, Shayan, Shiv Arjun. 440. Now, close the creditor account. There is opening, purchase and payment is also given. Opening, purchase and payment. Closing is calculated. To balance CD. Try to calculate the closing balance. Opening is given. How much goods were purchased this year is given. And how much payment was done is also given. Calculate the closing balance. 70,000. 70,000. The closing balance of the creditor will be shown in the balance sheet. Creditors. 70,000. This will reflect in balance sheet. Now let's move to cash account. There is opening, closing, debtors and all are also given. Check once if it is being tallied or not. If it is not tallying, then see that on which side is the difference coming. After that, we will discuss it. Do the calculation once and tell me how much difference is coming. There is a difference of 84,000 that is coming on debit side. Debit means that money has came from somewhere. Question is hinting towards that some cash sales have happened. We have cash sales. Therefore, this is our cash sales. This is our cash sales. Okay. There is a difference of 84,000 on the debit side, which means money has come from somewhere. Hence that money came from sales. Question did say that sales have happened. There are no cash purchases. There are sales. Nothing was mentioned about cash purchases and they were not recorded in cash account. So there are no cash purchases, only sales. Therefore, I will show cash sales. In trading account, 84,000. The total will be 524. I am also going to total purchases, 230. There are no cash purchases because cash account is closed and there is no record of purchases. This became sales from purchase. Now I am going to close the opening balance sheet so that I can calculate the opening capital. Now I will close the opening balance sheet. 1 plus 60 plus 120 plus 22. 3,02,000. minus 52, 2,50,000. Opening capital 2,50,000. Now you will complete entire question by trading P&L and by making balance sheet ready. Make the trading P&L balance sheet ready and complete the question. If you have any doubts, so you can ask. Now you should complete the question. Tell me, is it done? So tell me, what was the GP in the trading account? How much is the GP that came in the trading account, gross profit? So how much is 544 minus 290? 154. No, 254. GP, 254. By gross profit, 254. To net profit. 2 lakhs minus 1,44,000 is 56,000. So this much net profit should come. 56,000. Now we will add net profit here, which is 56,000. This will come to 1,86,000. And the total will come as 2,76,000. You should check the asset side for once. 276, this is also 276. Got it? Is there any doubt in this question to any student? Any doubt to any of the student? No, sir, that means everything is fine. Absolutely clear. Now come on, let us do another question. Question number 4. Question 4. Should we start question 4? So Mrs. Lakshmi. Lakshmi, a retail trader, needs final accounts for the year ended 31st March 2013 for the purpose of taking a bank loan. However, she informs you that the principle of double entry had not been followed. She did not follow double entry principle, which means her accounting records are incomplete. With following inputs, prepare P&L account for year ended 31st March 13 and balance sheet as on 31st March 13. This information is given to you. Prepare trading P&L and balance sheet. First, the details of receipts and payments are given. If you will look at the details of the receipts payments, so this time cash deposited in bank, then dividend on personal account deposited into bank, tuition fee of Lakshmi's daughter paid by check, rent for year paid by check, then cash received from debtors, salary and wages paid in cash, again in cash, and rest all of it is in cash. It is giving the details of cash and check separately. So definitely when you look at the balance sheet this time, you won't see only cash. There should also be a bank column. Because if the payment is done by check, then that money will come from bank only. When you are going down to ledger balances, so first of all the stock is given. Bank is given, so I will create a ledger for it. Cash has been given, so I will create a ledger for it. I will create ledger for debtor and creditor. I'll create 4 ledgers: cash, bank, debtors, creditors. I will create an opening balance sheet since I need to calculate opening capital. If you want to make cash and bank, so you can create a cash book with double columns, 1 column for cash and 1 column for bank. Or create 2 separate ledger accounts, cash account, bank account. So we will make a cash book, because making a cash book will bring everything together. We'll do entire work by creating 2 columns, cash and bank, in cash book. She also informs you that she draws 6,000 from the bank on a monthly basis. Read further, and some debtors deposit checks directly in bank. She withdraws 6,000 rupees monthly from the bank for personal use, and there are some debtors who deposited money directly into the bank. Means the collection of debtors was through bank also. It's a hint and you need to keep this in mind. Alright, this question is given to you to prepare the trading P&L balance sheet. So come on, we shall start. So for the answer to question number 4, you will make the trading P&L on 1 page. I'm writing answer to question 4. Look here, this is Mrs. Lakshmi. On 1 page, you will make the trading P&L balance sheet, which is the main requirement for your question. That means you have to make the balance sheet on 1 page. On the 2nd page, you will make your working notes. Always make it on 2 pages. The first thing that will come in working notes is the opening balance sheet of 31st March 2012. Then next one will be cash book. Double column. We have learned how to make the cash book at the inter-level. Therefore, in this we should not have any problems. So 1 column will be for the cash and 1 column will be for the bank. One, I will create a debtors account. And second, I will create a creditors account. So this will be my complete working which will get ready. This complete working will be ready. Debtors and creditors. Cash book, opening balance sheet. And here closing balance sheet, trading P&L. This complete working will get ready. When you are done with it, just let me know when you are ready. Just type in the comments that we are ready. Then we will start the work one by one. Trading P&L, balance sheet, opening balance sheet, cash, bank, debtors, creditor. Ready? Firstly, all of the students, listen carefully. You start placing opening and closing balances in the correct position. First, complete this. I am asking you to do it yourself this time. Try it on your own. You don't have to look at the board. You don't have to look at your copy. You try it yourself. I won't say anything. I am doing my own work. You do it yourself, but please do it on your own and please don't copy from notebook. You can see here that I have put all the ledger balances. So I have put all of the ledger balances, all right? I hope you have also put all the ledger balances. It was a very simple task. It was absolutely simple. There is no technical work. It is completely basic and simple work. In investment, both opening and closing were same, so I directly put it in balance sheet. If there was change, I would wait and see what's the change and then work accordingly. Done. Now I will move on to the first part of the question. Cash is deposited into bank. The cash has been deposited into the bank, right? The bank will be debited. Cash will be credited. Now in the bank account, write to cash. Under cash, it will be by bank. The journal entry is done with cash account, bank account, and debit to cash. So the bank is debited and cash is credited. Bank is debited, okay? And cash is credited. Moving forward, dividend on personal account deposited into bank. Pay very close attention to this. So dividend on personal account. Personal account. We have deposited the personal investment dividend into the business bank account. So tell me, how should I write this? Should I write bank account debit to dividend income, or should I write bank account debit to capital introduction? Tell me, is it bank account debit to dividend income or bank account debit to capital introduction? If the dividend income from his personal investment is entered into the business bank account, and then this is a type of capital introduction. And if it is a capital introduction, then we should make an entry. Debit bank account to the capital. Bank account is debited to capital. This is a capital introduction, and the personal investment dividend has been deposited into business's bank account. So I am here in the capital and I don't know the opening capital yet. Add introduction. 250. Introduction 250. And next, tuition fee of daughter paid by the check. We have paid the daughter's tuition fee from the business bank account. But these are drawings, am I right? By drawings, daughter's tuition fee payment was made by check for 4,500 rupees. These drawings will be deducted from capital to make it understandable. I am writing daughter's tuition fee. Daughter's tuition fee was 4,500 rupees. I have subtracted this. So students paying personal expenses from business money is drawings. Next, rent is paid by check. The rent is paid. This must be business rent. It only says rent. It's not mentioned that it is personal house rent. It just says rent paid by check. So 9,000 is the business rent. This rent will go to the PL. In the PL, write to rent. 9,000. The rent will go to the PL as to rent. 9,000. Cash received from debtor. They have received cash from debtor. Under cash, write to debtor. And it is 52,500. Under debtor, write by cash. 52,500. Cash to debtor. Paid to creditors. Now the problem with paid to creditors is that it is not mentioned if the payment was made by the check or the cash. Normally, if nothing is mentioned, we assume it as cash. I'm just going to circle it for now and we will figure out what to do later. Okay? Salaries and wages are paid in cash. Simply write by salaries and wages. 9,000 is paid for salaries and wages. Where will salaries and wages go? To the PL. To salaries and wages. 9,000. Transportation is 2,750. So write by transportation 2,750. I am also showing this in PL to transportation 2,750. Office electricity is 16,600 in cash, so write by electricity. It is 6,600 in cash. We will write to electricity here. 6,600. Then the electricity of the house's electricity bill. If the house's electricity expense was paid from the business, then it will be by drawings. House electricity is 7,200. Drawings, write house electricity here as 7,200. And next, general expenses were paid in cash. So we will write by general expenses here. 890. General expenses will go to the PL. Write to general expenses. 890. I'm doing nothing different. I am just doing normal double entry. It's nothing. It's a very simple task. I went through each item and kept doing its ledger posting and entry. And here all my work is completed. Down below it says she draws 6,000 rupees from the bank on a monthly basis. Every month she draws 6,000 rupees. So the drawings for the entire year. Buy drawings and she does it from the bank, right? 6,000 multiplied by 12 is 72,000. 6,000 multiplied by 12 is 72,000. These drawings will be less from the capital. Less drawings. 72,000. This will be less from the capital 72,000. Okay? And then it says, some debtor deposit checks directly into bank. Some debtor, but they did not mention the amount. It says that some debtors have deposited the checks directly into the bank. Okay? So let's see. Question is finished. Question is finished. Only one thing was left. It was creditor's payment. It is not clear whether it was paid by cash or by check. It only says paid to creditors. All right. So let's see. Now I will close each ledger one by one. Firstly, we will look at the debtor's account. All right. The opening is given. The cash closing is given. Sales have not been given. And it is also mentioned in the question that some money came from the bank too. Am I right? And we do not have any of its information. Sales are also missing and some money came from the bank and the information about that is also not available to us. I can't close the debtors right now. In the creditor, purchases are missing. And the payment that was it made by cash or by bank? If it was made, then it was 40,025. But was it made by cash or by bank? I don't know if it was made by cash or by bank. So I cannot close this in a hurry either. I will simply go to cash. And then firstly, I will check the cash. Clear? You can start calculating the sum total of the cash account. Start calculating the cash account. So now tell me, what do we see here? 10,850 plus 52,500 minus 3,500 and minus 9,000 minus 2,750 and minus 6,600 minus 7,200 and minus 890 minus 10,500 22,910. This is the difference. 22910, the difference is coming on the credit side. On credit side. They haven't mentioned anything about cash sales or cash purchase in question. There is nothing mentioned about cash sales or purchase. Difference on credit side is 22,910. So it can be possible that the payment that was made to the creditor. So in that 22,910, how could it have happened? Because there is nothing else missing in the cash. So 22,910, which is missing on the credit side. Then how did we possibly make this payment? Tell me. The total payment made is 40,025, right? How did 22,910 happen in that? So payment from bank is 17,115. 17,115. Let's try to calmly understand this one thing for a moment. It's better to avoid making any assumptions in hurry, and let's just read the question one more time and see what all could be in it. My cash account had a credit balance. Credit means some payment has been made, but I don't know about it. I assume that it was creditor's payment of 22,910. And balance of 17,115 was made by check. So in the creditor account, if I show you properly, to cash, 22,910. To bank, 17,115. And so the total payment is 40,025. You can now take out the purchases from here. You can take out the purchases from here, all right? Now from here, your purchases have come out to be 47,225. So from here, your purchases have come out to be 47,225. And the creditor work is complete, right? Purchases have come out to be 47,225. Now for 2 minutes without rushing. Further, just check this. What have I done here? We have assumed that the difference in cash on the credit side is the payment made to the creditor, and the remaining payment would have been made from the bank balance. I will take these purchases to the trading account. 47225, there is no cash purchase. So this 47225 is my total purchases. 47225. So now I will balance the bank account. There should be a difference on the debit side. On the debit side. Because the question says that some debtors' payments have come from the bank. But we don't know the amount for that, but something has come. So I will just balance and calculate the bank account for a moment. $63895. 63895. It is 63895. This is the collection from debtors. The collection from debtors. I only added and subtracted. Nothing else, just plus and minus. I want you to do it once. Check it and then tell me if it is the correct answer. If it is coming out correctly, then I will be able to calculate sales. Sales are coming as 114395. 638665 is coming. Yes, 865 will come. 4500, 9000, 72,000, 17115, 20,500, minus 55,500, minus 3,500 and minus 250. 865 is coming, okay? So here also it will be 865. And over here also it will be 365. Six, 5. Good thing about the question was that it did not tell whether the payment to creditor is made in cash or by bank. So when we cross-checked with cash and bank ourselves, we realized that this much payment must have been made. Now this sale will go to the trading account. Buy sales. 114365. Okay, students, it is 114365. Sales will come out to be as 114365. Now let's calculate the opening capital once. Opening capital. Calculate the capital. Capital is coming as 1,25,050. Can any of you students check and tell me if this is the capital? Now all of you can complete the balance sheet. Complete the trading PL balance sheet. Can any of you tell me if the opening capital is correct? it is all done. Okay. Have you all completed the trading PL balance sheet? We will not be making any assumptions. You should only make assumptions when you've looked at everything and still you're unable to understand the question. GP is 47140. NP is 18,900. Tell me, is it good? Is it good? So are we all understanding the question and its answer? So are you all slowly getting what the question is saying? Take question 6 as homework. Write it as homework. Because you have another class coming up. That's why I'm leaving it for now. Today's class was a bit short. You will do question 6 as your homework. The balance sheet is over here, Tejas. It's something else, Shivam. No problem at all. Tejas, is the balance sheet tally? Question number 6 will be your homework. Shivranjan is saying that question 4 is a good one. So mark it as a good question. And make sure to look at it once while practicing. Done. Thank you so much, everyone. We will meet tomorrow to continue our discussion on single entry. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.